Hello, 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 and welcome to a special edition of Betting with Big Amo. How are you doing, my friend, over there in Manchester?
I'm really well. Everything's good. It's raining over here. That's what's expected. But it's NFL um, first game of the season. So excited! Thursday night football. Even though the
Yeah,
potential that the Queen might be dying is not taken away from my enthusiasm for what potentially could happen tonight. Should be great.
yeah. That's condolences to anybody in the UK. Shout out to the family, the royal family. Um, I hope that she does
She's not
well.
dead
But
yet.
yeah, she's not dead yet, so she's keep fighting the good fight. Um, and we'll see how it keeps going. But in all seriousness, if somebody's affected by that, condolences. Um, yeah, here we are, special edition, man. We are a Sunday betting show, hence the title, Betting with Big Amo. All right, that's where the emphasis is at. I've been betting with Big Amo for a couple of years. If anybody's watching this now or later, it is September 8th. It is the NFL kickoff, Thursday night football. Defending world champion Los Angeles Rams playing the Buffalo Bills. Quite the journey from Buffalo to Los Angeles, but I think they've had time to prepare. It's not an ordinary game. Get to watch the banner drop for all the Rams enthusiasts out there. Get to watch the championship banner go in SoFi Stadium. That's going to be very exciting. There's going to be a lot of emotion in this game. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be communication errors. It's all going to be there. And don't worry, we're here to talk about the betting aspect of it. Just some initial thoughts on this game, Big Amo. I've already want to tell people it's week one. Don't go blowing your whole bankroll on this, okay? It's week one, but what are your thoughts on this game?
But the game itself, I think it's going to be a cracker. I think they've picked probably one of the better ones to start on a Thursday night, because not normally there's a lot of poor games on a Thursday night, but this one certainly is going to be. Well, the bookies have got it very close as well, and everyone has had the say. Everyone either in Team Bills or Team Rams, but I think there's lots of opportunities in which we can exploit the bookies this tonight with a couple of interesting lines that we've found. I think it's going to be an interesting game. It would have been nice to see Tre'Davious White. I know a lot of people are talking about him at the moment in the media and how much it's going to affect him and possibly opening the door a little bit for the Rams. I certainly think that might be an opportunity as well, but we can't discredit this Bills team. They are everyone's favourite. Everyone's talking about them. He's already signed up for the Super Bowl. We think it's a very, very, very good team, but anything could happen on a Thursday night, I suppose.
Yeah,
It's going to be an interesting game for sure.
that's a Thursday night in the United States is when like the seventh and eighth grade in the junior varsity played football. Which I've spent 4 years doing that. So I've always kind of thought it's pretty cool that they put Thursday night football on there. I think it probably inspires some of those guys that are real young. But the line is tight. I expect it to be a pretty competitive game. I know I will. But one thing I love about the NFL engine is because, like you said, White's been getting a lot of attention. You know who else has been getting a lot of attention? Matthew Stafford. And I'm blowing the whistle on all the baloney, man. What is it? He had a baseball surgery on his arm, on his elbow. Peter Schrager tells me some pitchers don't recover from the surgery. Then you hear reports that Matthew Stafford's fine, no limitations, throwing the ball like all over the place. And I just like, man, this is where you got to stand your ground out there in the betting and the fantasy community, because we are getting reports literally saying two different things from very reputable people. But the baloney will stop. We will be able to see once the eye test is there. If Matthew Stafford's out there slinging it to Robinson and Cup and Higbee and whoever else, then that elbow is fine. But if he's having to put a little bit more rainbow to it, or they're not throwing deep out routes and stuff like that, we're gonna know that too. So I love it. One of my favorite football columnists of all time always said, "I always got told the baloney stops here," but he didn't say baloney, And I always think it's really true because there's a lot of that going around. But once the season starts, it's a new test. Real quick, on Sundays we're gonna have the scrolling line. You can see it. That's a DraftKings line. negative 2.5 on Buffalo, over under of 52, negative 140 on Buffalo, plus 120 on the Rams. You go look at FanDuel, it's at 51.5 on the over under. So if you're a big over under better, you have that half a point, which you're like, yeah, some people might be like that, half a point. To the bettors out there, they're like, all right, we don't have to tease it. We don't. That's a for sure over under. There's no push on it. Those kind of things make a difference. And the Bills odds are a little higher on FanDuel, but the Rams odds are a little higher on DraftKings. Like Big Amo and I said in our first episodes, make sure you have multiple books out there. Make sure you're checking multiple books and looking for deals. One of the deals I want to highlight real quick, Amo, to go ahead and get us started, is Buffalo. They have I'm taking Buffalo, but on DraftKings, there's a special right now. You can go, make sure you opt in. It's a promotion. You have to opt in this promotion. But if either team goes up by 7 points, either team, whoever you feel like is going to win this game, go check out this promotion. If either one of them go up by 7 points, your bet is done. Do not cash it out. Avoid it if you cash it out. Write it out and you win. You're going to win regardless of the outcome of the game. And football's such a momentum sport. I really do believe both of these teams could go up by 7 points because that's how the bookies kind of have the script written, that it's going to come down to the wire. So I think this is an excellent, excellent opportunity for you to take advantage of this bet, okay? And it's like I said, 7 points is all you need. Just think like open and drive. If Buffalo wins the kickoff, has a great 15-10 play game script to open up the game, go down there, score the touchdown, score the extra point, your bet's hit. We're done. We've won for the night. And I think it's worth go ahead and laying kind of like, we're working on the slogan. We got the big tuna bet we told you guys about in the last episode, and we're going to refresh you on that Sunday. But we're laying a 2.5 unit bet on the Bills to be up at 1 point in this game by 7 points. And if you like the Los Angeles Rams, you can flip that. They're at plus 120. You can win that bet as whatever you place it on. I'm taking Buffalo. I think it's a pretty safe log because the bookies are telling me they're good. All the media is telling me how good Buffalo is. We placed a half a unit bet on Allen to be an MVP. Well, one way he really jumps that up is by having a great performance on the first game of the year, and I think he's quite capable of it. I think he's very special. I think that offense is going to be very difficult to stop, and I think 7 points will be ahead at some point in this game. Quite easy, my friend. But having said that, you want me to roll into my next same game, or do you have any comments on this special as well, Amo?
I think it's an amazing special. We don't have it here in the UK, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd be jumping on this as well. So even though we're doing it because we've organised ourselves to have our own disposable income, so we're not losing any money here. This is all money that we have generated beforehand. As we said before in the semi-pro betting mantra, we want to make sure that we have fun and we earn money and we don't put our lives at risk due to financial implications. So this is good. We're putting a lot of money in one basket, but I think it's a fantastic opportunity for you to like you said, there's a possibility that you might be all done before the 5 minutes in the first quarter if they score straight away. So it's an unbelievable offer, and it's something that the UK bookies don't do.
Now, see, there you go, guys. Getting some help. The Americans, they realize we all love football. There's all kinds of promotions. In fact, this next one we're going to talk to you about is another promotion that you can get on DraftKings. Let me see. I put it in see what we got there. Got Mace saying hello. He said, first game, let's go. You're right, Mace. We're both really pumped about that over here, man. But there's another special. Like I said, we talked about it right here. You must opt in. But there's also a DK same game parlay boost. So you got to have 3 legs. I told you guys before it's difficult to hit 3 legs on the same game parlay. But the more you go up, it's 10% increments of a boost on your bet. And we went right here. Let me go to the next slide. Do a little better producing here. So why don't you talk about
this one's mine, Iggy.
Yeah, talk about it real quick. So we've got one for the Rams and we got one for Buffalo. So either way, take a look at this because I didn't get to finish it, Big Amo, but it's up to $10. They'll refund you back if it doesn't hit. So you can, if your unit's a lot higher than that, that's fine. If your unit's a lot lower than that, that's fine. But they will absolutely refund up to $10 on this same game parlay if it doesn't hit. So we kind of have a pretty good chance to, if we don't hit it this time, we get another chance to get it back on maybe Sunday. I just wanted to make sure everybody understood that. But yes, sir, please go ahead with your same game parlay.
Well, Well, I know you've gone quite strong on the Bills for your same game parlay. I've taken the other side. I've gone looking at the matchups for the Rams. I think having 8.5 at home, being the Super Bowl winners last year, even against the Bills, I think 8.5 plus 8.5 is a decent start for the Rams. With the matchups, with Tre'Davious White being out, and there's the chance that Cup will be taken by Johnson, who's a very good slot cornerback. So they're left with, unfortunately, because they're left with a rookie, and the cornerback 4 will be entitled to look after Robinson and also the tight end Higbee. So Robinson could be in for a right good treat tonight. He could have potentially plenty of targets. I like him also for an anytime scorer as an additional thing. But to go over 60 yards, I think is more than a modest total for him in the evening. And I also like Cooper Kupp. Who's going to stop Cooper Kupp? I mean, Cooper Kupp was phenomenal last year. He got the most receptions ever. He hits so many yards. So the bookies started off as an opening line of something like 91 for him to go over. So again, I've just teased this down on an alt to get 70 yards. So this is on Betfair, which you do slightly different lines to the American ones. But my same game parlay is Rams plus 8.5. Allen Robinson to go over 60 yards, receiving yards, and Kupp to go over 70. And that comes out at plus 245, which is ridiculously generous. So we've gone half a unit on that.
Absolutely, yeah, that's nothing not to like there. Like you said, make sure your same game parlaying makes sense. A big part of the show is transparency. We're going to keep the unit count going, but we're also going to be transparent with why you think this could happen. You know, I explained it all to you right there. You're going against DB cornerbacks 3 and 4 against the reigning Super Bowl champ, a guy that threw 50 touchdown passes last season in Matthew Stafford. So more than enough opportunity for that to happen at plus 245. Like I said, real quick, a 20% boost on that. That would be 40, about 50. So you almost getting up to about 290 with that boost on DraftKings if you take that. That's amazing odds. That's really amazing odds. So, you know, if you're a Rams believer, check it out. Like I said, I went on Buffalo. I'm staying on track. I bet on them to get a 7-point lead. So, you know, I'm sticking with that kind of as my kind of theme here. Mine's a little bit more simple. I took a Knox anytime touchdown score. I kind of did this maybe a bit early. I think Stephon Diggs is he's gonna work Ramsey. I think Stephon Diggs is gonna have plays where he just outplays Ramsey, in my opinion. So he could get more looks down in the red zone. But Knox is just a favorite of Josh Allen. I know Gabriel Davis is the love child right now, and everybody's on the Gabe Davis train. But Knox proved last year that he's more than reliable in the red zone. He's about the same height as Josh Allen. There's the release on the inside. Rapp's an okay safety. Wagner, if he has to cover Knox in the red zone situation, I'm not so sure he's great at it. I can't think of the second-year guy. I've just blanked on his name. Linebacker as well. I don't think he's going to be able to cover Knox. So I think there's potential for Knox to get a touchdown, as he's already kind of one of Josh Allen's reliable sources. Then I just doubled down on Buffalo money line. And then we got Buffalo scoring over 20.5 points. That's teasing down what the bookies offered on their line. Like I said, the line's 52. So, you know, that should be 25 apiece, essentially, or maybe 27 for Buffalo since they have a 2.5-point line. I just took the bookies line, teased it down, and that put us at a 245 as well. You know, there's nothing not to like about those odds. Like I said, you get that boosted on that DraftKings boost, that puts us at about 290. And I'll roll with those odds all the time. I don't like doing more than 3 legs on the same game. But, you know, by all means, if you feel like you have something you feel really great about, change it out or add it to it and try to get a bigger pie. Just be careful, though. The more legs you add on your parlay, the less likely it is to happen. Always keep that in mind with parlays. I know they're a lot of fun. They're all the rage, big Amo, but you got to be careful with them. All right, let's go ahead.
Can I jump in there, Diggy? Can I jump in?
Ahead. Go ahead.
With Knox, he had something like 25 red zone targets last year. He got himself, I think he got something like 6 or 7 touchdowns. So he's actually competing for the same sort of targets that Mike Evans got last year. DK Metcalf, so he is going to be used, and I think that he's going to be a good addition to the Bills' armory. And I think his odds at the moment, I think it's close to +2, very high for just a scoring touchdown. Anyway, I think he's definitely worth the shout. I've been looking into a lot of the red zone receiving stats and who's been getting a lot of them. Obviously, Cooper Kupp leads the league in those, like he did last year. He got over 37 targets in the red zone last year. But Knox had 18, so he's only had half of what Cooper Kupp has. So it's obviously the volume's there.
Yeah,
I think it's a really good parlay.
Opportunity, you have to show up to get it. That you have to have opportunities to to capitalize on the touchdowns. So it's one thing I thought of. Moving into another one we want to talk about. You go ahead and take the floor, man. This is a new strategy. We did this a little bit last year, but go ahead and expound upon it, Big Amo, and what our thinking is with this.
Well, I'm trying out a new strategy. I'm going to be bringing out a complete video myself on my semi-pro betting better YouTube channel. And I thought I'd start it off today by doing a real simple one. The reason it's a treble, I'm going to go down the doubles line in the future, but this one's just three real shorties. So we've got Cooper Kupp to score a touchdown. We've got Henry to score a touchdown and JT to score a touchdown. They're all really, really, really low odds, but combined together gives us a nice little thing, because I think Henry's going to be the main threat for Tennessee, for the Titans this weekend. I think he's going to have anything up to 24, 25 carries. JT probably very similar against Houston. I know Henry normally goes for about 200 yards against Houston, so I'm sure he will get a touchdown, at least a look in. Henry he'll probably get the same. And then Cooper Kupp, I think, is one of the best options for the Rams to score. I think he'll cause enough problems for everyone else. So I think it's quite a nice price, actually, at +237, just for half a unit for Cooper Kupp, Henry, and JT to score a touchdown this weekend. Also, I've also got Thursday night, red zone Henry, and then JT Henry. JT in the red zone, and Henry is in the evening games, so they're all split over the time period for us.
Yeah, that's a thing to keep in mind. Like you said, JT going against Houston, Henry going against the Giants at different times. You can cash this bet out if it jumps out 237 and you've already got maybe a double. You've already doubled your unit count, or you're already 1.2 over your unit count of what you could receive. Don't be hesitant to cash out. It's fun to write it out. It's fun to be correct. It's fun to know that we got the bet correct. But you don't go broke by putting money into your bankroll that comes off of a bet. That's not that fish and bread keep a poor man fed. So I think I kind of like that aspect of it. I'm feeling the temperature of a bet before it goes in. Are they giving me a good return on it right now? And I can turn around and put a little bit of that earning back on an anytime touchdown scorer. It could be worth it. It just depends on your philosophy. There's more than one way to pet a cat, so always remember that. Moving it over, another one we felt good about. Go ahead and take the floor, my friend, because I feel really good about this bet as well. I think they're going to try to ease Stafford into heavy rotation. But what were your thoughts on this, on the offensive line? Because you had some notes about the Bills' defense, actually.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit speculative, this one, if I'm honest. A little bit speculative because we don't really know what Cam Akers is going to have his usage. But he came back last year, even for the Super Bowl, and took lead role. Even though he was slightly underperformed, that's why his line is so short. But 44.5 against the Bills' rushing defense is so easy. It's going to be so easy because what the Bills like to do, they like to encourage you to run. Encourages run, so which they can then squeeze, and then the cornerbacks are so effective against the wide receivers that they don't give you enough options. So what they want you to do, they encourage you to run, put yourself in an awkward situation on 3rd and down, and then the cornerbacks will try and get you the best possibly can. So The Rams and McVay, he loves to run the ball. He's got his percentages are off the scale. He will run the ball whenever he can. He wants to instigate running the ball first. It sounds crazy, really, when Cooper Kupp was one of the best wide receivers, but the first instinct he wants to do is to rush the ball. So it's more of a case of who's going to do the rushing, and if Cam splits his carries, he's still going to get sort of 10 to 10.5, which gives you means he only needs to get 4.4 yards per carry. And before he was injured, he was smashing that every time. So I just think it's quite easy, possibly quite a low sort of value for potential rewards, because I can see quite comfortably the Rams, the Bills giving up way over 100 yards, and they've got to come from somewhere. And I don't think Stafford's going to rush it.
Yeah, Stafford's definitely not rushing it. Yeah, Henderson, I did hear McVay say he's got RB1A, RB1B. I think that's just all coach talk. I think that's gamemanship. Akers is clearly their guy as far as leading the backfield. And I do think that I don't expect Stafford to throw the ball 40 times, 45 times, unless they're just way behind. I think they're going to try to use their offensive line, control the tempo, try to keep the best player in this game, Josh Allen, off the field as long as possible. And the way you do that is you run the ball. So I think, and McVay loves running the ball. You just said it. He's known for the high-flying offense and this and that. They run the ball. Shanahan runs the ball. Matt LaFleur runs the ball. Those guys are all running kind of minded offensive coordinators or coaches, if you will, because they know that running the ball sets up the pass. Very simple. It's an old truth as a football, man. But I love it, too. I'm going to highlight it later as well. But I like it, You like it from different perspectives than I do, and I think that just makes it all the much more stronger bet. I think there's absolutely nothing to not like about that. All right, here we go. And we got one more little teaser, because I do agree with that tease line. I don't think there's any way the Rams lose by more than 7 points, really. I think the bookies got that down. But why don't you go ahead and talk about this, sir?
Just really simple. It's a fantastic tease opportunity, the Rams, the way that the bookies have sort of lined it up. I know a lot of people in the media have also sort of jumped on this bandwagon for a teaser. You have to tease it with someone. And I just kept it really simple. And everyone's second favourite team this year is the Eagles. So they're playing just like them on the money line, and the Rams to get plus 8.5, and that gives us even money. So we're going to double our money up, half a unit. We'll get ourselves half a unit profit when hopefully the Rams come within the 8.5, and the Eagles, who I think will do quite well this season, and they should comfortably win at the weekend. I can't remember who they're playing now.
The Lions.
The Lions. Yes, everyone's favourite darlings, the Lions.
Yeah,
but you've got to remember they have got a very good offensive line. They've got two potential problems with their offensive line this week. They might have two of their main studs out, which doesn't bode well against the Eagles' front four. They're going to be really good. They're very good in the trenches, the Eagles, regardless. And then you've just still got to think about the secondary of the Lions is still very, very, very poor. It's probably one of the bottom 10 secondaries in the whole NFL. So I think that Jalen Hurts will get on his wheels, and more than likely AJ Brown will be involved heavily as well, because why not? That's where you want to target, and I think the Eagles will win quite comfortably against the Lions.
Yeah, I think that's an easy win. We'll definitely talk about them some more Sunday too, because we've kind of been big on the Eagles as well. We kind of talked about them with Steven. We kind of talk about them behind the scenes. So yeah, it's something we're big on. So here, let's recap our bets one more time, and then I'm just going to pull up some prop bets from DraftKings. You and I will look with the live audience, spend the last 3 or 4 minutes doing that. Almost. Does that sound good to you? All right, here we go. Let's see. Let's recap real quick. Taking it all the way back to 1. Buffalo ahead by 7 at any point. At any point in tonight's matchup. It's a special on DraftKings. Make sure you click the promotion. You don't click the promotion, you don't opt in, you don't get that security, and you got to win with your money line, okay? So even if you don't agree with the Buffalo line, if you want the Rams line, I still think it's an excellent, excellent bet to take and, cash it out early. And then moving over to Big Amo, same game parlay, we got the Rams plus 8.5. Robinson over 60 yards. That's an alternate line. Cup over 70 yards. That's an alternate line. That's at plus 245. Like we said, Big Amo thinks that that third and fourth DB, we both think that's just going to be hard to cover these elite wide receivers. So I expect them to be able to get that as well. Moving it over, it's to Knox an anytime touchdown score. Kind of a gamble, as I've said at all times. It's hard to predict who's going to score a touchdown, but we did validate it with numbers. He is a big red zone target. I trust Josh Allen. Once again, I doubled down on the Buffalo money line, and then we took Buffalo to score over 20.5 points for the whole game. That's just 3 touchdowns. That's all we need. All right, that's coming in at 245 as well. Anytime scorer, Big Amos, Chucky said, make sure you check out his, what are you going to call it? It's not going to be the mantra. It's going to be semi-pro betting or?
Yeah, semi-pro better.
The semi-pro better. He's got it coming on. Like I said, we did some of this last year, so it's research that we've kind of developed to take off into the second year of now. And it's a Cup touchdown, a Henry touchdown, and a JT. That is for the Indianapolis Colts running back. For them to have an anytime touchdown score, we took the bookies' words, combined it together, you get 237 right there. Happy unit on that one as well. Cam Akers over 44.5 rushing yards tonight. The way we see it, the defense isn't going to be able to stop them. I think they're going to want to try to keep Josh Allen off the field. 44.5 just seems way too easy. Basically, as Big Amo said it just seems way too easy, and I feel the same way about it. And then we got a teaser which involves tonight's game. The Rams plus 8.5. The Eagles money line coming in at right at evens. So looking for something that we feel pretty safe about, and combining it with the money line on Sunday was something that we feel pretty safe about. So not too bad right there. On a review on it, that comes out to 5 units, okay? 5 units betting. We started with 30. We spent half a unit on MVP Allen. We spent half a unit on rookie defensive player of the year. We love Hutch. I think he's going to do great things. I think he's going to get my guy Rodgers even once. It's kind of scary. But so we used to 1 unit down. We're at 29 units at the moment. We're taking 5 away. That's going to put us at 24 units, okay? Transparency, transparency, transparency. Sunday we'll have a slide breaking down how our bets went, or maybe just what our overall unit count did as far as the bets that are clearing out tonight. Alrighty? So let's take a look right here at some of the lines real quick. On DraftKings, just looking at some of these defensive props. We didn't talk about any of these things. And I think there's one, that could be really, there's a couple we didn't highlight there. We talked about the cornerback situation. Can you read that at all, Big Amo, on my screen? It says Micah Hyde 4.5 on the overs at -125. And then we got Jordan Poyer on 5.5 at -125. Okay. On some bookies, like on William Hill in the UK, which is Caesars over here for us, I've placed the tackle prop already, and you can combine them. On DraftKings, you can't combine them. They don't offer them in the same game parlay, or at least they didn't, to my knowledge. All right, but we have Bobby Wagner, Mr. Tackle himself, 8.5. And everybody, I need to clarify this real quick before we get going too much on them. This is all tackles plus assists, people. This is the only tackle prop that I take. I'm pretty sure it's the only one Big Amo takes. We don't do just the tackles. We don't do just the assists. Let's let every one of those count for one and give us 2 ways to get to our total. I'm really about that. I'm really about the rushing and receiving props. I'm really about the tackles plus assist props, okay? And we've been doing this last year. We had quite a bit of success with our tackle props. Like I said, Bobby O, 8.5. There he is. Ernest, where did he go? He's not there right now. Well, Leonard Floyd at 3.5 at +105. 3.5. If he gets 4 stops, that's plus money. I think it's wonderful. Jalen Ramsey, if you think he's going to get thrown at 3.5, that's at -130. Aaron Donald, 3.5, -150 on the over. Let's see here. Tremaine Evans, 7.5 at -120. Matt Milano, 6.5 at -130. Depending on how you see this game script happening, I think it's very interesting. Do you have anything to say about those tackle props real quick?
I like some of the Bills, as we discussed before, like Poyer, and I like Hyde. I don't know which side they're going to be on, but the rookie cornerback is going to need some help somehow. But they're going to have to double up on Cooper Kupp, because that's probably the best way they're going to do it. So they're going to have safety help somehow. It's a shame that Van for the stretcher for Rams is out, because if it would have caused the Bills even more trouble, but they're probably going to be a little bit more compact. But I do like Hyde and I do like Poyer. I do like Tremaine Edmonds over 7.5. If they're going to run the ball as much as we assume they probably will do, he's just going to get tackles galore. It's just going to go through the middle, and that's where he's going to be with his big arms and his big wingspan. So that's some potential ones on the Bills side. As for, I wouldn't touch on Alden Donald just yet. I do like Bobby Wagner because, well, Bobby Wagner gets sort of 8 or 9 tackles a game regardless, doesn't he?
Yeah,
so there is, but I just don't know how much they're going to run. Buffalo are going to run, so he will be involved, and he's an elite linebacker. But if Buffalo, well, it depends if it's Josh Allen. If Josh Allen's doing most of the rushing for the Bills, it might not be. He might not get up to that level as such. So I bear a little bit of caution on that sort of side.
Yeah, and to bring back a point, like if you go look at the Super Bowl, I think the Rams scored like on every passing thing on Eli Apple. McVay saw Eli Apple, saw a weakness, and he exploited it. So look for him to kind of try to keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of expect that from him as far as like his game plan for this attack. Like he's going to go after those DBs. They're going to have to shade the safeties over. That is a tackle prop we talked about. You know,
Taron Johnson's going to be the one who's going to be looking after Cooper Kupp because he's a slot wide receiver, and his tackle prop is 4.5. Now, if you think, I think Cooper Kupp might be getting anything up to say potentially 10 receptions. So he's only got to tackle him half the time. And I know that's easier said than done. He's quite elusive. But over 4.5 at -120 is not the worst shout ever.
Well, that's kind of how I feel about Jalen Ramsey. I kind of think he's the best Ram. Let's say Stephon Diggs has 8 catches. Jalen is probably going to be locked up on him. If he tackles him on half of those, that's 4. So I kind of feel the same way with Jalen Ramsey because I think I went and looked at some film of Stephon Diggs, and he just moves his feet so amazingly on the line, man. It's amazing what he does. Another defensive prop I feel really good about, and I'm going to go place money on as soon as this is over, is Von Miller over 0.75 of a sack. Notice for the sacks, it's not a half. It's a 0.75 because you can get credited with half a sack. So Von Miller could get half a sack, but something tells me no Andrew Whitworth over there. Left tackle is going to be exposed. Von Miller knows Matthew Stafford's cadence. You know, he knows what he's like to practice with. Von Miller is a stud. He's one of the best defensive linemen of his era, if not the best. Showed why he was drafted number 2 overall. He still thinks he can go win the sack record, guys. That's the entire reason he's with Buffalo. He has that goal as his mind. 1 sack. You got to remember, it's his night to celebrate too. He helped the Rams win the Super Bowl. Without Von Miller, they probably don't win a Super Bowl. And it's his night to celebrate as well. He's going to be running with some emotion. He's going to want to show them that he's still the guy that y'all should have paid me the money I wanted. And I think Von Miller gets a sack at +155. I just love watching sacks too, so that's an easy bet for me to cheer on. But I backed it up with some philosophy and why I think it's going to happen. A new tackle starting his first game, on the biggest premier night against one of the most premier rushers in the NFL. I'm taking Von Miller. He's been a Super Bowl MVP before.
That sounds logical.
Anything else you'd like to add to the show, man, before we get out of here for the day?
No. I'm really excited about the weekend. It's going to be fantastic. Tonight's game's will unfortunately be a watching brief for me because I'll be watching it in the morning. But I'm all prepared, and I'm very excited about the potential of earning lots of pennies this weekend. Don't go mad, everybody. It is the first night. I know we haven't bet for almost 9 months. Well, I say we. I've already bet, but yeah, just do it sensibly. Be wise, and of course, we're betting with money that we've already put aside. I can't stress this enough. Whoop! Earthquake. See that?
Yeah, everybody. We have a bankroll. Remember, it's on top of the show. I'm going to get the overlay. We're going to have that updated for you once the season gets rolling. Keep that in mind. Look at different books. Take advantage of these deals. Don't look at the boosts. I've already seen a couple boosts, and I'm like, who's going to bet on that? But I know there are people that are going to look at that and be like, yeah, let's do it. So be careful of those boosts, but look for promotions. Look for things where you can get your money back on a bet. Look for things that don't require you to do something ridiculous. They're just trying to get you to come into their book for the year. Take advantage of these moments because, the bookies aren't just going to give you breaks all the time. I promise you that. So take advantage of what they're giving us. Be smart with your money. Be reasonable. Let's have a little fun. Cheer on some football tonight. I'm glad it's back. It's time for the baloney to stop here, my friend. All right, you guys take care of each other. Hit us up if you have any questions. Big Amo, please tell them where they can find you real quick.
I'm at Loco Beans.
With the Z at the end, Zeta.
Z at the end.
Or you can tag him in mine as well. I'm IDP_Iggy. If you reach out to Big Amo, want his perception, he'll probably answer you on there as well. Okay, guys? Have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you Sunday.